Speaking of like weird stuff and that, I've got a new.
Well, we weren't, but go on.
No, I've got a new book. Do you know I had that Freaks book, Top 50 Freaks? Got a new one sent to me.
Really?
Yeah, and do you know like everything normally has a name. So like if it's the two-headed fella, you know, they're all nicknames like that, aren't they?
They've got two nicknames, I imagine.
But this new book I've got, right, on the cover of this one, it's got like a woman with 3 breasts, right? And she's called the three-breasted woman, as you'd expect. The one face.
Why is she posing nude, though? That's what I want to know.
Tart.
Well, she looked happy. And there was a fella with like one face but 2 bodies.
Doing one face but 2 bodies.
One face, 2 bodies.
What do you mean one face, 2 bodies?
Surely one head, 2 bodies.
Head as well, but it was mainly the face that was weird because he looked fed up. Sort of,
What are you talking about? How
What
can
are
you
you
have a
talking
face
about?
without a head?
How can you have... What do you mean? How did it join to the neck?
no, it did have a head, but the fact is, it was weird that it had one face to me.
What do you mean?
Well,
if you've
of
got
course
one
he had-
head, you'll have one face.
Yeah, I know, but it was the fact that he had one face and 2 bodies that I didn't think.
But
one
why do
head-
you keep saying one face and 2 bodies as
Why
opposed
not
to
one
one
head?
head and 2 bodies? We're all the man with one face.
Yeah, but now I've got one body.
Yeah, well, surely he's the man with 2 bodies then. Again, the description.
Roll up, see the man with one face.
I know, yeah.
So it's full of stuff like that, right? And what I'm saying is that fella, you know, the one-faced man, the 3-breasted woman.
He wouldn't be known as the one-faced man, is what I'm saying.
Well, they've all-
that
they all-
isn't the peculiar thing about him.
Yeah, well, they all had names like that. But
Right.
there was one thing in it that didn't even have a nickname. It was so weird.
What do you mean?
It just said unidentified.
What does it look like?
Sort of testicles for eyes. That's. It just reminded me when you.
What do you mean
strange.
testicles for eyes?
And what is it? Do they have a normal body?
I didn't even look at that.
Oh,
No,
so
that's what I'm saying though. You're attracted to the oddness of the thing, and that's what I was saying about Warren when he walks in.
Warwick.
You know, it'll be odd for a minute, and then I'm sure
For him it will be. Yeah.
He'll get used to you.
I've got my head round it a bit more, and the way that there's loads of people in the world, and yet you don't see people with like dangly eyes more often. It amazes me.
I love the fact that he's amazed by not seeing freaks.
Yeah.
It's incredible. He's walking down the street going, oh, everyone's got one head. That's weird.
Suzanne, see any dangly eyes today? No, me neither.
It's weird, isn't it? What's going on in the world? Oh, he's only got to read it down.
That jingle there signifying, of course, once again, another reading from the Diary of Karl Pilkington. Now, of course, for those of you who have not been keeping abreast of Karl's medical complaints, just bring us up to speed, Karl. You had to go into hospital because previously you'd had...
I've been in
treatment.
and out, honestly. I've been in and out of that hospital just with kidney problems, really painful and what have you. And
He had kidney stones, all right.
No, but
sorted.
seriously.
I had a bit of a lie-in today because I have to get up early for my operation tomorrow. Not only have I got to have tubes shoved up my knob, but I also have to get up at 5:50. Suzanne said I could have what I want for my last dinner. It's not your last dinner, you're going for an operation.
Yeah, but you can't take things for granted these days.
Oh,
I had shepherd's pie and peas. Suzanne made it from scratch. As nice as it was annoying. Because making stuff from scratch means loads of pots, and it's my job to do the washing up. So much as the food was nice, there was loads of pans and that. People who get their last dinner on death row don't have to wash up. Got up at 5:55. You were supposed to be getting up at 5:50 on the other page. You were 5 minutes late getting up.
He's often late.
Often late. Got to the hospital and had to wait in the waiting room. There was another 9 people in there waiting to be sorted. I got called in. They sat me on a bed and took all my details down. 5 minutes later I'd been knocked out. I got woke up when they were ripping a pipe out of my throat. I felt more rough this time. The doctor came to see me and said he couldn't find a stone, so I must have passed it. I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yeah, we filled your kidney with water and expanded it and there was no hiding place." I sat in the recovery room for an hour while they found me a bed. One of the fellows who was sat in the room with me this morning got wheeled in. They couldn't wake him up. All the nurses were laughing because he didn't want to wake up. I bet they were laughing at me when I was in the theatre. Someone told me they totally strip you when they're operating. I would have looked like the alien on the Boswell incident.
Boswell!
quite a nice analogy if it weren't for the fact that you said Boswell. It's the Roswell incident. Didn't sleep much through the night because there was a 60-year-old fella shouting at the nurse about his pillows. I don't think I slept through a full hour with one thing or another going on. My bed was next to the toilet, so I kept hearing the flush.
How do they sleep in hospitals, though? They wake you up to give you fucking sleeping pills and things, don't they? How do you sleep in there?
I don't know what it is. There's no air. There was an old fella across from me who kept breaking wind. He didn't even try and cover it. He was just of that age where he didn't care. Just like, that's what I do. I'm in the hospital, leave me alone.
What do you mean?
Just, I don't know what was wrong with him. I talked to him because at first I felt sorry for him. I was a little bit like, you know, he's had no visitors. No one's calling him up, so I'll talk to him. But then he got that familiar with me that he'd just be doing it whilst I'm chatting to him. Just like he's my granddad or something. It's just like, oh, that's what he does. It's like, well, I'm ill as well. Stop doing that. Honestly, unbelievable. He didn't even try and cover it with a cough. It was just like, that's...
With a cough? How would you cover it with a cough?
just non-stop.
Got home and sat down. My pains are coming back, but the doctor said this would happen and that my insides are still in shock, so I need to take it easy. It's 9 o'clock. I'm in agony. I can't do the diary for the rest of the day.
Jesus.
So you may as well just tell us then what happened.
Suzanne just got frustrated with me because I was rolling about on the floor and she was trying to watch Arthur, right? So that was on the other night.
I thought it was with your lodger.
So,
And she said, look, if you're in pain, do something. She said, you know...
you went and got a cold plate.
Yeah. No, use an ashtray. Plates are for liver damage.
Got in a taxi. He filled up on the way, which was annoying.
He didn't.
That
He
is
did.
cheeky.
That really, I mean, he could
On
see
the
us
way
in
to the
pain.
hospital.
So,
Because he's not an ambulance driver.
so anyway, he gets us there and he doesn't charge us, which is pretty decent.
Oh, that's all right, yeah.
So this gay fella came through. And,
How do you know he was gay?
just the way he was. I'm not having a go. He was a good fella. Do you know what I mean?
A
He-
doctor, you mean?
No, he was a nurse.
Right.
And he came through and just sort of went, oh, how are you? And I was like, oh, I've had better days. So he got
As
me
you
on
mentioned in the diary, I remember the first time when I came here, they said the nurse might put a tablet up my arse. I thought the chances of that happening had just increased.
Oh, Karl!
Yeah, but I would have let him do it. Honestly, I was that sort of out of it. That
Of course you'd let him do it. He's a qualified nurse.
No, but the way I am now, say if it was just a tablet for sorting out my blood pressure, and I walked in there and he went, oh, hello, and he said, yeah, let's pop that. I'd go, hang on a minute. But what I mean is that night, I would have just let him put 3 on, honestly. It's just weird, isn't it, how your body just goes, let them get on with it, and you trust anyone, don't you? When you're in that much pain and you need
And
help.
they're a qualified nurse, yes. Karl, of course, has written a poem about the experience entitled My Ward.
All I've done here, I've been through I don't know what the word is, a bad experience.
Trauma.
A trauma, yeah, I've been through a load of trauma. So I'm just finishing it off with a little sort of picture for people.
Go on then.
Me, a Chinese fella, and an old bloke who looked like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Don't know what was wrong with him, but breaking wind was the symptoms. No one visited him or called him. He seemed quite lost to me. As well as wind problems, he had a colostomy.
Back.
When I left, I said, see you to the old man. Turned out the other fella wasn't Chinese. He was from Japan. I never found out what was up with him. You've got a little picture there, haven't you, of me sat in my ward. I'm sat there with that fella who I didn't talk to, the old fella who had wind problems. And that's what a poem is, isn't it?
But the detail about you thought he was Chinese and he turned out to be Japanese, how is that evocative? That's just a piece of misinformation.
It's just
I like it.
I imagine a lot of people make
I
the
like
same
it because
mistake.
you know why? It's like he even makes digressions within his poem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like he could have gone back and erased that, but he didn't. He left that digression in, and I think that's great.
To be honest, had a late night last night because I stayed up to watch a programme about monkeys.
It's already good.
Of course he did.
It's already good.
Now, before I read on, I mean, is this not some kind of monkey news? Is this not a late return to monkey news?
Well, it's not that good.
Is it not? Whereas the other monkey news is...
Oh, chimpanzee, that's some more shit.
This is what he says. This is what he gleaned from the programme about monkeys. It sat on a bridge and wanted stuff off people to walk over the bridge.
What?
So it was acting as some kind of toll booth,
This
was
is
it?
ridiculous.
No, it was a bridge in like the jungle.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
And it's a monkey that's sat on a bridge, and a lot of tourists go through the area.
No, it's a monkey
to look at them.
who realised that if he sits there, he'll get stuff because it look like it's a cute little chimp begging.
No, but every time.
Yeah, because you give a monkey, I'm as bad as him now. If you give a chimpanzee a banana, and he starts realising that humans have things to give.
Yeah, but it's all
Squirrels
sorts of
learn that. But you don't go, you wouldn't say, went to the park, there's squirrels waiting at the gate. You have to give them a toll to go in. They're only going to give them a nuts. They come up to you every time. You fucking idiot.
Went to bed after watching it and fell asleep thinking about it on the bridge right now. It's a bit bad, really, because the monkey should work harder for its food. It made me remember the slug I saw yesterday that was eating bird poo. Nobody would ever help a slug with food like they do with ducks and monkeys. A slug's life is pretty bad. The only time they come out of their den is when it's raining.
Den.
So even their days out are depressing.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
It is like, it's a horrible thing to be, innit? A slug.
Love him talking about what is it like to be a slug.
No, just because, like, the monkey, even though it's been quite aggressive, everyone was like, oh, give it some water. And it was well, like, kitted out. It had, like, you know, chocolate bars, bottled water, some, like, you know, fizzy stuff, and all that.
An iPod, it was listening to Monkey News.
It could have had one if it wanted one. It was getting away with murder on that bridge. And that's just because it was furry. Yeah, if that was like a blob, like a slug, there's no way people would be that friendly towards it. And it just annoys me how you get this pecking order for, like, no matter what creature you are, favouritism. And that slug was only eating that bird poo because it wasn't being offered stuff.
If it was offered toffees or whatever.
Well, it's just sad, isn't it? It's come to that. That's where its life has come to.
Yeah, but it's not a
was
mollusk
raining, like
that's
I say.
down on its fucking luck.
He didn't live in a big country house and
No,
his
but
wife
it
left
is.
it, the
I
kids
was
went, it started hitting the
watching
bottle.
it, and I kind of thought, and look, they do only come out in the rain, and it's depressing, and it'll probably get killed in a bit, and that was its last meal. I just...
Last meal!
But it
people
wouldn't
don't care.
prefer steak and chips, Carl. It
No,
doesn't
a leaf.
have...
It must like a leaf or you know, at the end of the day, it's an insect. They love a
It's
leaf.
not an insect.
Well, it's part of that gang. It's part of that. No, it's part of
They
that.
hang out together, they hang out
It's not.
together.
Why do you think it's part of that
Because
gang?
it knocks about in the woods in the same place as a spider does. But what I'm saying is they're eating boring stuff because that is what's
It's
in
not
their
boring
area.
stuff to them. They're not. I have no opinion of it at all. They take in sustenance.
No, but where you are is what you eat. When I'm in London, I'll have beans on toast for lunch. On holiday, what? Tapas? Go on, I'll have a bit. So it's whatever you eat, what's in that area.
Suzanne went off to work and I went to the shop to buy some envelopes. The shop was empty, but the fella behind the counter was on the phone and just kept talking even though he could see I was waiting. I started to count backwards from 20. When I got to 6, he hung up and served me. I won't use the shop again. Question, why count backwards from 20?
So he's thinking, what's going to happen at 1? If I start counting from 1, he's going, well, let him carry on.
What, out loud?
So, not really loud, but like more of a mouth action, so he could see who was doing it. Do you know, like
Sorry, you just started miming counting backwards to a man in a shop.
he's on the phone. The shop
Yes.
is empty. I
Yes.
thought he'd like me custom. He could have served me and stay on the phone. Even though I don't like that, at least he's still doing what you know he needs to do.
I'd have said,
working the
sorry,
shop.
can I just get these, please?
Yeah. Well, I stood there and I thought it's annoying me now. My kidneys aching, and I started to get a bit of a sweat on. So I thought, right, I'm going to give him 20 seconds, and if he hasn't got off the phone, I'm leaving.
You are
Giving
one of
yourself-
the strangest people.
It's just giving yourself a thing. I could have been stood there for
Free.
ages.
He's one of the strangest people who's free to walk.
Yeah.
It's
the
about
streets.
no. I set myself a little target, and I thought I don't want to waste another 30 seconds in here. I'll give him 20. It worked. He served me at 6.
But it didn't work. Yeah, but did he do it because you were doing that, or did he finish his phone call?
I don't know. I was busy counting.
One prediction for the future, Karl, is from an academic study, what the world will be like in about 75 years from now. And a big prediction they're sort of sure of is that androgyny will rule. But soon you won't even need a female or a man in your life, you'll just need the egg or sperm. And you'll be able to have any coupling you want or not. Thoughts, Karl?
That isn't what I've heard.
What were you heard?
I heard
So
that.
you read an academic study, Rick, but
Yeah.
let's find out what Carl's been reading.
I heard we're, you know, we're all going to go ugly.
Different point, though, isn't it? That's a
Completely
different point.
that. Not listening to a word Ricky said. But
No,
go
it's
on.
just if we all sort of go ugly, that will sort the population
He gets an
problem out.
extra syllable in the word ugly. 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 Ugly.
Yeah. So that just sorts the population out because people aren't sort of having it away left, right, and centre.
Well, no, well, then that doesn't sort of... What do you mean?
Sorry, Rick, I don't understand what the hell he said there.
Are you saying, because everyone's ugly, everyone won't want to have it away more with the ugly person?
Yeah.
Okay, I still don't... You seem to understand what he's talking about, Rick. I'm still
But
confused.
what he thinks is that if we're all ugly, then we still have this strange paradigm of beauty that won't exist, so we won't fancy anyone as much.
No, they'll still sort of fancy, because at the end of the day we're animals, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we'll still have it away, but
Yeah.
not as much as they'd like to do now because it's all based on looks.
Sorry, but what's this got to do
What's
with what
this
Ricky
world
said?
like? Describe
Ricky's-
a typical town or country
It's
set to me.
exactly right. Imagine London. You've still got the gherkin. You've still got the big wheel. That's
Right.
It's just everyone's ugly.
Right, and they're doing all the same jobs, are they?
Everyone's still the
So
world's got to carry
What
on.
do they look like? What's ugly?
Just imagine, like, have you ever seen anyone when you've just gone, look at that?
Yeah.
Right, well, like that.
Yeah, but hold on, because it's not
No,
like
because
a
we have
strict...
got better looking, haven't we? If I look back now
Yeah,
at a school photo,
yeah.
you look at my class and you go, what was going on then? You can't tell the difference between some of the girls and the blokes.
When he said we've got better looking, I thought he was going to talk about cavemen, not his school photo. I mean, what happened there? There's been no evolution in that time. What are you talking about, Karl?
We've got better looking now, haven't we?
But we will change.
Yeah, we'll
Probably not in
change these little
75
things.
years.
I mentioned before about your little finger. There'll come a time when that'll go. I've watched it. I've kept an eye on what my little finger's doing. Sometimes it does nothing. It never helps out. All the others are grabbing older stuff. That one just sort of sits there watching. So you could get rid of that, and I think that will go in evolution.
Think of the books he could have read when he was doing that, when he was monitoring his little finger.
I've been watching my little finger.
I think what's more interesting about the future, Karl, is the fact that technology integrated with humans will be fascinating. So, for instance, they're talking, about the fact that in the future we may even be able to have chips in our head that allow us to access the internet, or an equivalent of it, directly, mentally. So imagine that.
To say, not French fries. It
But
doesn't mean
hang
that.
on though, at what point are we us then?
Yeah, this is good.
Go on.
Go on.
No, because if I can go on the internet at any time, then that's going to know more than me.
What does that mean?
Okay.
When I don't know an answer to something now, which is a lot of stuff,
Really?
Go on.
you
Yeah.
watch University Challenge,
Yeah.
and the stuff them kids on that know. I just think, where have they stored that? For me, if something doesn't get used within a time period, that's it.
But again,
It's forgotten about.
Basically, you've got about the same hardware
I
as
haven't.
those people.
Honest to God, I haven't. I know I haven't. So what I'm saying is, if I want to know the answer to something, I go on the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, if I've got a chip in my head with Google on it,
Yeah.
I'm never going to use my head. I'll just be forever on Google.
I'm never going to use my head.
Well, I'm not,
But
because
what do you
what's
think
the
your
point?
head is, though?
Because I'm going to get it wrong. The chances are I'll get it wrong, so divert that. It's like saying...
No, you can't bypass the brain straight to Google. When you're having a chat socially, it's not like they're going, all right, Karl, how are you? And you're not there. You're asleep, and Google's talking. I think you'll find that.
No, only...
You want to see naked ladies? Come this way.
No. I don't watch University Challenge and go, I want to be like them, I'm going to start reading books. I've accepted I'm never going to be like them. I can't play along. All I tend to do is I say to Suzanne, right, so every question now, I'm going to have egg as the answer. And I'm hoping that one day...
What an amazing game! What an amazing intellectual pursuit that is!
What a lucky lady.
What does Suzanne say to that?
Well, she just sees if it works. She just plays along, and then I'm saying, oh, it might be this one or whatever.
I love that, because I remember once, it was about 5 years ago, Karl and Suzanne were round near Christmas, and me and Jane were there. We were playing different parlour games, like charades and that, and then one game, you have to do that thing where you have to beat, and you have to do animals, and you have to go, first one is A, then B. So you say aardvark, next one goes beaver, next one goes cat. It came to Karl, he panicked, and he went egg.
And he was on air. So you're sat there watching University Challenge, and on a good night, it's, you know, well-known jeweller Fabergé is well known for his jewel-encrusted egg. Humpty Dumpty is commonly pictured as a living egg. Sometimes it's getting extraordinary.
If you keep saying the same thing, eventually, it's like a broken watch.
Karl Pilkington's head looks like hay.
Yeah. I think Steve's right, and I don't know, I haven't read it, but I imagine he's saying it's the next step in convenience with technology and an interface between the human and a research tool or fun. You know, computers went from being the size of a room to a thing you can wear on your watch. So the next step may be, you won't forget your palm top, you won't forget your iPod, you won't forget your laptop. It's in there, it's an interface.
I know, but it makes us lazy.
Karl, it's not a question of. It's not that Google is now Karl. It looks like Karl, but it's just spouting, you know, little pop-ups about offers you can buy and cheap holidays here and there.
He's not the man I'm married.
Right, look at it like this.
Jesus.
Look, I see it all the time now.
Go on.
You go, where are you going, to someone? And they go, I'm going to Dorset.
Aye.
Oh, aye. What road are you taking? Don't know. Just pop on the sat nav. Now, that's a start, isn't it?
Okay. Let's act that out with me, okay? I'm going away for the weekend, Karl.
Are you?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Dorset.
Oh, yeah. How are you getting there?
Car.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, which way are you going?
Don't know. Why do you want to know?
Oh, just making a friendly chat. Just, you know, I'm interested in geography. Which way are you going?
Well, I don't know really. I've got a sat nav in my car, and I'm getting there. And what do you know? What?
Easy, isn't it?
Well, I'm not a pigeon. I don't.
Oh, you got an A to Z.
Well yeah, but it's on a computer. The A to Z. What's the difference between looking at an A to Z and
Lazy, though.
Not really. No. Why? Why is it any different that I've got it computerized so I can go along? A to Z's a bit dangerous, isn't it? It's a bit. Don't go to A to Z when you're driving along.
Clive, who are you talking to? Because we need to hit the road. We need to get going.
Well, it's this fucking idiot who wants to know what road I'm taking, which is a fucking boring thing to ask. Anyway.
Sorry, who is this twat? Because we really got to get going.
He's a fucking dickhead. I think he's an A to Z salesman by the door. I mean,
just tell him we're using the sat nav because it's the quickest, most efficient way of doing it.
It's the quickest, most efficient way of doing it.
No, but look what's happened.
Who the fuck are you?
Would Columbus found America if he had a sat nav?
Yes!
No, he wouldn't.
He'd have put in America and he would have taken it
He wouldn't. He only found it because he got lost. Now, if everybody just goes...
Hold on. How would an undiscovered country be on a sat-nav?
No.
Go on.
But I just
What's
mean...
the difference between the sat-nav and the map in that regard?
Because I've found some lovely little cafes on roads I've never been on.
Well, I've instantly gone from finding a continent to a little cafe.
I love that!
Little greasy spoon.
I am off to discover the unknown world. Where are you going? Well, I don't know yet, it's the unknown world. What are you taking? Just a boat like all lazy swim, you cunt. I love the fact that he's so Luddite now, he's annoyed at the sat-nav. I mean, you'd have probably given Columbus a hard time. Oh, got a compass. Don't you know where north is, you twat?
I just think there's something in being lost. I never feel lost. I just think, I've had a diversion. Because you find new things. I'm forever going down...
Suzanne's asking the French peasant where the...
Just think, Columbus...
All right, what's the most interesting thing you found when lost?
Like I say, they normally... I found a shop that was like a fancy dress shop.
Amazing.
Do you need fancy dress stuff?
Dressed
you
up
never
as
got
Columbus,
it.
went and bought a sat-nav, went to Dorset for the weekend.
You never go out. Why do you need a fancy dress shop? That sounds like the one thing you would hate is fancy dress.
No, but I like looking at the... they have like a space helmet in there.
Right, so you found a fancy dress shop. Where are you supposed to be going that you had time to get sidetracked and go in a...
I think I was going to a meeting.
Amazing, that's the last time!
So you want to get lost?
Yeah, you don't want to get lost,
No, because I always give myself loads of time because I get lost a lot. I always give myself...
Get a sat-nav!
No, I'm just saying, that's how you find little treats along the way. And next time you pass it, or next time someone says, do you know where the fancy dress shop is? You can go, yeah, I do.
You go, I have no idea because I was lost. I didn't know where it was.
No, but normally I
I'm not going to tell you, lazy cunt. Have you got an A to Z? Oh, that's harsh.
Yeah, find it yourself, you lazy twat.
So...
What have you learned? You keep going on about all this learning. What have you learned?
What have you learned? Okay, sum up mankind's foray into the future. I want this. This will be the introduction to a book about the future. It will then be read in 100 years' time and go, Karl Pilkington was the most prophetic genius that's ever walked the earth. These are his words from 2010.
Just some predictions. Just
sum it up. Just sum it up. I believe. Start off with. I, Karl Pilkington, believe that mankind in the future will. Okay, start off
And
with that
then what?
sentence.
Just have like a top 5.
Well, no, or just
Well, maybe just predictions.
Just
yeah,
predict.
okay, yeah.
So
and
just-
then a little thing to remember, and remember ye this. So I, Karl Pilkington, predict that in the future mankind will. Start off with that. Start off with that sentence. I've given you that one.
All right, I'm Karl, and the future.
He's already gone off road.
It's a scary place, but the future's going to happen. Right? There's no getting away from that.
Yep. Okay, your predictions are.
Well, we're all.
It's not a soundbite.
Keep going.
Hang on a
Give him
minute.
space.
Okay,
Give him
go on.
space. Give
This is
him
in a
time.
book. I've got to think about. I don't
Okay.
want to get it wrong.
Think. Okay. Think first. Think, and then say it. Okay. Starting from now, these words of wisdom will be inscribed on a wall of a museum one day. Proceed.
I think trousers are going to be stopped being made. Just because
Right.
you see kids now, they've got pants around their ankles. They're going further and further down. So I think that's evolution, just getting rid of the trouser.
Right.
It's just dropping naturally.
That's the evolution of the trouser because it's dropping incrementally
Well, you see now, you
down
can see
the
kids'
arse.
underpants, so they're just dropping.
Yeah.
I think they'll get to a point when they just don't bother wearing them anymore.
Right.
Prediction 1.
Okay, they'll
That's an
stop ma-
amazing one.
They'll stop making trousers in the future.
good.
Okay.
We're going to get weaker. That's already happened. They used to say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Now they're saying eat 5 fruits.
Right.
So we've definitely that's evidence. You can't argue with that. I'll probably put that first because he goes right. What's number 2? So swap that round.
Okay, that's number
Give
1.
him the pants second.
Yep.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Okay,
They
number
used
3.
to say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. They used to say pull your trousers up. Now they say put them down. You can. I've never had such fucking dribble.
Number 3.
Right, number 3. Oh, the scholars are now waiting with bated breath when they find this old scroll, and they go, "Ooh, what can number 3 be?"
I reckon we'll blend all our food.
Oh God!
No, because the
He was going to make a point about race. He said, I never thought it would be. We'll blend all our food.
like they do for babies, you mean?
I just think when you think about all the stuff we eat now, cavemen chewing on big lumps of meat.
Yeah.
We had wisdom teeth.
Yep.
Now they say, "Well, take them out. You're not using them."
Yeah.
Why not using them? Because your food's soft.
Yep.
Sorbet,
Yep.
soups.
Yeah.
Everything's softer,
Just
isn't it? When
those
you get
two,
an
yeah.
avocado, they say, "Is it soft?" Everyone's squeezing the food before they buy it.
Yeah.
No one wants anything tough.
Yeah.
So I think chewing is a sort of
It's a thing of the
thing of the past. We haven't got the time to chew. Everyone's like, "Hurry up, eat that." You don't have to go out for dinner with Ricky. He's like, "Hurry up." Like, I'm still eating
Well, he
it.
does blend his food, I think. Okay, so blending food.
Great.
I reckon. What else do we do now? So I've done teeth. Done trousers. I've come up with this idea. It's sort of like glasses, but you can live wherever you want to live.
What do you mean?
Everything that's real, you're not looking at that anymore. This is really the future. I'd put this at number 10. This is like...
We're only doing 5. Fuck me.
So
Alright.
what you mean is that you look through the glasses and instead of seeing what the real world, you see a tropical
what you
paradise.
want to see. So if you're a young kid and you like the idea of living in the urban ghetto with all graffiti on the walls and that, you can see that.
Yeah, but hold on. Are you walking round? Because you'll be bumping into stuff, won't you?
No,
Why not?
No, what you mean is that the stuff that's there in the real world is being digitally reimagined in your glasses. So what was a nice country lane is suddenly now an
It's
urban
got loads
ghetto.
of graffiti on it.
Sure.
Absolutely mental, pointless, will
But-
never work. Absolutely
But
one of
all
the
the-
maddest things you've ever said.
Really weird, that one.
Yeah,
It could be done. I reckon it could be easily
Why
done.
would it be? Okay,
Because-
that last one, that's number 4. That's a load of bollocks. So what's number 5?
There'll be more letters in the alphabet.
Why?
Why?
Because we're running out of words now, aren't we?
No, we're not running out of
No, we
words
are.
now.
We are definitely running out of
Using,
words.
It's using the letters we've already got and
yeah.
making new words.
Yeah, we're making, yeah.
No, but we haven't got enough now.
Of course we have. Have you any idea? You could have a word with 9 L's
Yes.
before you run out.
Yeah, and they do in Wales and what have you. That's because their alphabet is shorter than ours. They've only got something like 24 letters over there.
Right.
They go mental with the L. now, what we do is we've got 26 letters, but we are now struggling.
We're not struggling at all.
We are.
We're not. I mean, it's a stupid...
Boswallocks in shampoo. Now there's a word where they've gone, well, we've invented something here. We've got something we're putting in shampoo.
Boswallocks?
Boswallocks.
Have you just made that up?
No, it's now they go, I knew with Boswellocks and ceramide R. Yeah, but that's a new word because they have to, they come up with a new word.
But it's a terrible word.
Why?
Boswallocks.
It's another word!
Is that real? You've made that up,
No, I haven't. It's a real word.
Boswellocks, yeah.
Now this is what I'm saying. So years ago, when they came up with all the sensible ingredients,
Go on.
sodium. That sounds all right.
He likes sodium, he doesn't
Happy
like
with that.
Because it
Boswellocks.
sounds like something in it, like an ingredient.
Well, yeah, but that's because you're used to it.
Is this a load of Boswallocks? Are you winding me up,
No,
the two of
it's
you?
real.
It's real, and that's because 26 letters. We've wasted them. Years ago, we went mental with the, pneumonia, sticking a P on it, and there's loads of words where you go, "What's that letter doing in there?" Whereas now, they can't do that. They've gone, "Whoa, pull that back. Why is that letter there?" And now you've got stuff like abbreviations and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's not waste letters. Let's just control it a little bit. Cars are called things like, GTI or something, because they're going, well, I can't think of a word to call this. So they're giving them letters. Think of a word now. Think of a word that hasn't been made up.
What do you mean?
Well,
All
tell me a
words have
word
been
that
made
hasn't
up.
been made up.
All words have been made up.
No, one that hasn't. That could be used. Say if I invent
Oh.
something now to put in shampoo, what can I call it? Quick.
Cranberry.
No, it's too close to that. No, we can't get that past the advertising person.
Scrimpton.
Scrimpton.
Yeah.
It took Ricky 2 goes and you accepted his second one.
Well, I think we've sorted out the future.
I don't care because it's the last day on Earth.
What would you do?
I've always wanted to kick a duck up the arse. The spiders, the deadly ones you're aware of, the ones that are just pottering about, you go, don't even worry about them, don't even give them a name. They're not doing anything.
But what if there's another poisonous spider they haven't identified yet, lurking in the undergrowth?
I'd be very surprised.
So you'd be very surprised.
I'd be surprised if there was
It
something...
sounds like laziness on your part.
But they're
No,
discovering
it's
new
not.
species all the time.
We know about all the dangerous stuff now, because we have to. We live in
No,
a
we
world
don't.
now. We do. We know about a lot of the dangerous stuff. Whenever they find something new now, it's like a new
look-
butterfly or...
Well, no, look at AIDS. When I was a kid, no one had ever heard of AIDS.
Yeah, but that's not a natural thing, is it? That's not like a spider or
What do you mean it's not a
ladybird.
natural thing?
It's not a natural thing. It's not something that's... AIDS hasn't been, like, living under the soil for millions of years, but I'll wait till the 1980s and I'll come out and kill a load of people.
No, but it is a natural
It's a new thing. It's
Yeah,
new.
Yeah, but loads of animals are new, aren't they? Evolutionary terms. There's new animals in evolution.
I'm sure there's new stuff deep down that's just like, almost like bacteria, sat under the soil, it'll never come to the top, right? It's like having an old woman who's a neighbour. She never goes out, she doesn't bother you. Let her be.
But what if that old neighbour could unlock the secrets to...
I don't think she can.
Just even to us understanding the complexities of the universe, of the way things have developed and grown.
Because we know about it.
Well, why would we know about it? Because I never understand, why is it you want to stop researching and studying now? Why is it that you're happy to just draw a line under everything else? What if people had said this back in the 19th century?
We've done this. I think someone in the 1900s said everything that's going to be invented has been invented, and then look what happened in that century.
Yeah, and I've said to you, look at the stuff that is being invented now. The frisbee and stuff like that. It's all stuff that,
Right.
that you kind of go, it's all right, it's a good idea, but we don't need
Yeah,
it.
but the frisbee wasn't being worked on by the top brains of our generation. That was some novelty toy that some manufacturer made.
Yeah, but it's like, look at the fuss we made over that fella who came up with a Dyson vac. Everyone was like, he's up there with Einstein. Well, he's not. It's a good vac. It cleans up floors well and everything.
Who
but
said he's up there with Einstein?
His
one of-
PR people
in one
did.
of those programmes where they did, like, great inventions of our time, it was easy early on. You go, Einstein, you know, Newton did this, Archimedes, Dyson. And that's, and they started to run out, because it is harder to come up with something new now. Because everything that's needed, remember, the things we've invented are things that we sort of go, we could do with that. Inventors don't sit there going, what can I make? Oh, I need a toaster. They've sat there, they've burnt the toast under the grill, and they've gone, I need some sort of device here.
Well,
that I can
somebody-
put
yeah,
bread
yeah,
in.
yeah.
And what can it do? I'll shake
Necessity
it like that,
is the
and
mother of invention.
Yeah.
However, there are people who sit around going, "Where's a loophole in the market? Where's a
Well,
niche?"
here's something. About a year ago, I came up with a see-through toaster, so that you can see how much the toast is cooked.
Right.
I found it about 2 months after that. Someone had done it. So I'd just been beaten to the post.
Think of computers.
Yeah, computers are a good thing, and it baffles me as to how they came about. When you think a computer chip is just made out of sand. Now, for someone to come up with that, you go, there must have been some sort of alien involved here.
What do you mean? Why do you think that? So I love it. So the frisbee, rubbish. Anything too clever? Well, it wasn't an invention, it was an alien. So there's nothing between frisbee and computer chip.
What I'm saying is, it's not even an idea, is it?
What do you mean?
A computer chip, where's that come from?
Oh, it's amazing.
Well,
it's astounding, yeah.
So you think it was an alien? What are you talking about?
Great.
Because I can't believe that someone would go, right, I want to make something that will hold information and be able to do... I know, let's use some sand, we've got loads of that. You'd go, what, you don't...
Well, that's what genius is, though,
But
isn't
Karl,
it?
there's no alien involved.
No, but when I say alien, I don't mean an alien came down here and said, you know, oh, do you want to buy this? There could have been a spaceship crash, right?
Right, yeah.
And there's all them rumours, isn't there, in that hangar. They've got the spaceship, they take it apart, they go, yeah, wheels, we've got them, yeah, steering wheel. And then they go, hang on, what's this here? And they find the chips, and they break it down, and they find
Karl,
a sand.
but the fact that sand makes computer chips is not the interesting thing. The interesting thing is how the human being discovered that... what am I talking about? Sand makes computer chips. That silicon can have information put on it. But we're made out of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, do you know what I mean? And hydrogen.
Yeah, but that's nature. You see,
Yeah.
nature is amazing. You can't beat nature, right?
No.
It comes up with some amazing things.
Yeah, but man is nature. Don't forget that we're an animal. We're a brilliant ape. We're actually 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, Karl. Think of that. We only differ on 1.4% of our genetic makeup.
That must be the arse. Because that's a lot different. I told you, didn't I, about me dad's mate who had a monkey and he had to thump it.
What? Well, there's two things there. One, why did he have a monkey? Two, what sort of discipline is thumping a monkey? What was the monkey doing?
He was annoying his wife a lot and sort of, you know, pinching her arse and stuff like that.
Right,
No,
right.
that's
Wait a
not
minute.
true.
We've
It's not
never
true.
heard this before. How have we had all these years
I'm
of
sure I
monkeys and
told
we've
you
never
about
heard this
it ages
before?
ago.
Your dad had a mate who had a monkey?
Yeah, I'm sure I told you.
Why did he have a monkey? Just for a laugh?
Well, it was back in the day when people did. They all had, like, odd sort of pets and
When?
that, didn't they? In, like, about 68.
Oh,
In
1968,
1968.
when everyone had a monkey.
But he had to thump it. Now, the weird thing is...
No, that's weird enough.
Is this is all the story? This is the entire story?
No.
You've got all the information you've got is he had a monkey and he had to thump it.
Yeah, my dad told me about it. When he found out that I was into monkeys, he said, oh, Benny thumped one. And,
Benny Benny thumped one. Oh, my son's into natural history, particularly simian variety. I've got an interesting fact for you, Carl. Sit down. What is it, Peter? Benny thumped one. Brilliant.
But what was interesting is the way that people are thumping other people all the time. No one bats an eyelid. Thump a monkey. People go, you thumped a monkey.
Yes, they do. They do go, you thumped a monkey.
So that's what's weird, isn't it?
But this chimp doesn't want to be caged and kept in a fucking council house in
No,
Manchester.
it was quite happy. And if it wants to
wasn't
live like a
happy.
human... I mean, in the 70s, you know, there were all the teabag adverts and all that, and they were loving that.
No, they
When
weren't
people
loving it.
interfere, people go, oh, that's unfair. Now they're in like a cage in a zoo. You go, it was better when I was pushing a piano up the stairs.
They weren't really...
They weren't actual delivery men.
They weren't really sitting down and having a cup of tea.
It wasn't a documentary. A week in the life of the monkey delivery men.
I love that. Chimps in a zoo now going, fucking hell, at least we were free.
Remember when we used to drive a van?
And we're on 58 quid a week.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be kept in a house in Manchester. Cruel to keep a person in a house in Manchester, so it's fucking cruel to keep a monkey. What do you think of that, Carl? If you wanted to make the ultimate fighting animal, what would you come up with? If you had the power, like that fella in Arabian Nights, size of a chimpanzee, you could change into anything, but you could change into, you know, like that.
I don't think I'd go for strength and that. I'd go for survival.
What would you do? Cockroach?
No, I'd have like an armadillo's body.
Right. Okay.
I'd have head of an owl.
Right.
The head of an owl?
Yeah, why, what does that bring to the table?
The head's there to sort of make it look friendly to the
make it
human
friendly.
race. So,
Okay.
because if you look half decent to the human race, they'll look after you.
Right.
That's the way it works,
Yeah.
isn't it? With
Okay.
a cat and a dog and all that. So the owl makes it look nice.
Right.
I'd have, I wouldn't have legs, I'd go for like the slug juice.
What do you mean? So now you're a really slow-moving, legless armadillo with the head of an owl.
Slithering along. How is that going to be friendly? They'll see the beautiful face, but then they'll be terrified by the slug.
No, because the head's that nice that they'll forgo the sludge.
But hold on, though. But wait a minute. So it's got this thing that's stuck, right, going at 0.1 miles an hour, with a going, hoo, right? You come over, you kick the head off. How is this
No,
a
because the
survival?
head can go into the thing like a tortoise.
Can it?
Yeah, of course it can. Into the armadillo body.
Well, no, an armadillo doesn't do that. It just curls up into a
No,
ball.
this isn't an armadillo, is it?
So it's... Oh, go
Why
on
has
then.
it got the slug? Why
Because
is that so attractive?
what I'm thinking is an armadillo. They're good when they're on the feet. Flip them, they get stuck like a tortoise.
Right.
Slug stuff keeps it down. So if anything attacks it, it's like a limpet or one of them things that can.
Why
lock
not have a
the stuff.
limpet then?
But it can't get any. How it can barely move. It can
Just
hardly
go and
get
just
anywhere.
go and kick it.
What do you mean it can't get
Well, how
anywhere?
can it escape from danger? It's going to move very
rubbish.
slowly.
No, 'cause
What? That's the
it'll
worst
lock itself in. It'll lock itself in.
Yeah, and then I'll just scoop it up on the
You
sand.
can't scoop it up. It locks itself in if it's in danger. I'd give it peacock feathers.
This is the worst animal
Why has it got peacock feathers?
Again, it's just
the worst animal I've ever heard.
Why has it got peacock feathers?
threatening. It looks more threatening.
It
That's
does,
what
well,
peacock
that's the
feathers do.
least threatening thing, peacock feathers. It's like Danny LaRue coming at you. There's
Yeah.
nothing remotely scary about peacock
Yeah,
feathers.
to humans,
Yeah.
but the humans won't be harming it because they like the owl head. People will like to have these things in the garden. They eat lettuce.
They eat lettuce. They eat Why has it got a beak? They eat lettuce. He's telling them what it's going to eat now. The owl's going, fuck that, I want a mouse. I love the fact that he's based what it eats on the fact that how it moves a bit like a slug.
Yes,
Let it eat
yeah.
lettuce. It moves that and let it eat lettuce.
Like I said, it's not that weird if that existed. If that was normal, like when you went out to empty your bin, there was one of them sliding up the wall. You wouldn't even double take. You'd just be like, oh, there's the owl head peacock feathered thing.
I don't know why it's climbing walls in an effort to find lettuce.
Yeah, why is it climbing up that wall?
Because that's the only way it can see properly. Because its head's coming out like that.
So even though you've designed this animal, now you're even explaining its
got problems.
limitations.
Well,
Now
it's
got
mainly
problems.
made as to be on walls. Because what else is living on walls?
Oh, God. Oh, fucking hell. What a useless animal that is. Karl, I mean.
Well, nature chucks up odd things, doesn't it?
Don't. Why are we starting on this again?
No, I'm just saying that is nature. Now and again, you'll get stuff that.
Oh, was he looking at you?
Yeah.
Was he really?
Look at his fucking head. Look at his stupid, round, fucking orangey head and... Oh.
Why aren't you a freak? You've got a little bald head. We're not meant to be bald.
Well, I was. I think that's the thing. That's what nature's done. You see, I didn't do anything with my hair when I had hair. I didn't style it. I didn't do anything with it, and it probably thought, "What am I doing here?" Whereas people who love their hair and they comb it and have different styles and look after it, they have hair for ages.
Nonsense.
No, nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Well, you're saying that.
Absolute nonsense.
Well, it's a little bit weird, then, isn't it? And that's what happens with old people once they lose their, will to live. Once they lose the job, they get old. What's my purpose? What am I doing here? And it's like nature goes, you're not needed, and they die. Maybe that's what happened with the dodo. What's it doing? Can't fly. Its wings are useless. Eat it. Tastes horrible. Kill it.
No, they did eat
Nature.
it. I think they did eat it.
Yeah, but it wasn't very nice, was it?
I think they over-farmed it. I think that's why it was extinct. Because they did eat it.
No, but they did eat it, but they didn't like it. Everybody, you never saw like a fully eaten carcass of a dodo.
You're
know,
making
it'd be
this up
half
again.
eaten.
All conjecture.
No, but they didn't eat it all. Everybody would probably try it and go, "It's not for me." That.
But you don't know
No
this.
idea,
You
you're
don't
just
know
making
this.
it up.
What's this based on? That people... And also, why would that kid it out?
Because I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because if it's not nice, people don't get another one in. And they die out. The reason we've got loads of chickens and loads of cows is because we eat them. If we ate polar bears, we wouldn't be short of them. Because you'd farm it, you'd take more care. But what's a polar bear doing? Sat on a block of ice floating about. It's no use to us, is it? It sounds harsh.
Once
it's
again,
no
got
use...
his information from a Glacier Mint
No,
advert.
but it's no use to us. We know they're there, and it's all very sad when you see them on the news sort of struggling and all that.
Yeah.
But it's going to make them stronger.
What would you do for your doctor? And I came to you and went, Karl, listen, I'm having a bit of a rethink of these. The penis, I hate it. I hate this cock.
But what do you mean you hate it?
I hate it. I don't want it there. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. It just sits there resting on these fucking awful testicles that I'm going to get rid of. I want this thrown away.
Yeah, well, it's, they're not a great look. I know that. Everyone knows that. It's just the way they are. I mean, if we're all being honest, they're an odd design. I don't think anyone likes their own, do they? That's why we cover them. They're not a great thing, are they?
What's this not why we cover them, though, is
It's
it?
part of it, I think. I think deep down, I mean, even if, like, I know you hate the Adam and Eve thing, but even if back then he was like, good God, cover them up. Even he had a leaf on.
No, but listen. Right. So, are you thinking fundamentally, then, that aesthetically, the testicles and the penis isn't as good as it could be? What would you have there instead?
Well, it's designed that way because that's the way it's got to be designed. It's more about function than...
Yeah.
And that's the thing, isn't it? With modern technology...
You need, the thing is the testicles have to be outside because they have to be a few degrees below body temperature.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the Sertoli cells die, which sort of feed the semen and all that. So, to be functioning and sort of like fertile, they have to be outside, which is annoying because I'd put a little rib cage around them, like that. I'd pop a rib cage round those, protect them, wear a cricket box, have that built in, so you cannot get a swift kick in the bollocks that makes you feel sick.
But it'd be better if they could sort of reverse up in a way that they were hidden away.
Right.
So that they were just, then you dropped them, it's like, right, we need to cool them down, be at it in about half an hour.
Yeah.
Drop them down.
Yeah, like the gear on an aeroplane, landing gear. Yeah, and landing gear down, and the bollocks and the cooling down. Or you could just pop them in the fridge for 10 minutes.
It's
Well,
like
they could detach and you could pop them in the fridge. Cool
Yeah.
down.
Can you make me some breasts?
Easy.
Okay. Go on, you say easy. What are you going to do? What's your plan?
Just, how do you do that? It's tablets, isn't it?
No, but...
Testosterone, isn't it?
Testosterone.
Toblerone. I want some Toblerone.
Well, sort of pointy tits, like Madonna.
Where do you stop, though? Supposing I came to you and said, Doctor, listen, I like the bollocks, I like the penis, but I don't like them where they are. I want them in the middle of my chest. I want breasticles. Yeah? The arse, I don't like it round the back, I can't see what's going on. pop that on the front where the bollocks were. I want my arse where I can look down and see what's going on. Can you do it?
I think it's just easier to move the head, isn't it?
Karl, when was the last time you reminisced?
Well, my mum and dad have been round, haven't they? So been reminiscing a lot.
Yeah.
What were you thinking about?
We're just chatting about Tic Tacs.
One of the great memories, yeah. The happy memories.
Now, I used to love them
Yeah.
when I was younger.
Yeah.
My dad got a load of them.
What, this year?
No,
Just
no,
recently?
years
Oh,
ago.
right.
Years ago when I loved them. I said, I love Tic Tacs, me.
Yeah.
He met one of his mates.
You didn't nick him from the sweet shop?
No,
No, that's what
he
you
knew
did,
some mate who could get his hand on a load.
Right.
And he
Thief,
must have
he was a
got
thief.
about he must have got about 30 crates of Tic Tacs.
30 crates of Tic Tacs.
Honestly, with like about 24 on each crate. We got them, stuck them in a cupboard under the just in the kitchen in the corner.
Yeah.
Now, I worked my way through about 6 crates. I was quite happy.
When? In how long?
I don't know, in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks or something.
Right.
And then after that, I'm getting sick of these.
Right.
Yeah. You were minty fresh, but you
Oh,
were sick.
lovely fresh breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I haven't got that much more to tell you about it. It's just.
What do you
So
I
this,
just
sorry, whoa. Bear in mind, this was something he was recently reminiscing with his parents about. They were sat round, and we've already learned up to an hour could go by reminiscing. Sat round for an hour, talking about the great
I've already
Tic
run
Tac
out of
saga.
responses. I've got
Yeah.
nothing to say about
No
that.
opinion.
I mean, I was nearly going to say, what do you do with the empty little flicky Tic Tac boxes?
But then you realise that that's utterly dull and boring.
Well,
and not
I
of any interest.
was struggling. I don't know what this anecdote is, other than a bloke. Other than you said your dad, I like Tic Tacs, me. He went, all right, I talked to Albert. Albert, you got Tic Tacs? I've got 30 crates, if that'll do, yeah? Yeah, bring him round. Put him under cupboard. He's got through 12 crates. What's his breath like? Fucking lovely, but he's been sick all over the cunting place. Oh, do you want some more? No, of course we fucking don't. You'll talk about that in a few years' time. Of course we will, for about a fucking hour.
No.
Then we bring it up in an audio book.
But I think that's how we got onto it, because even though I tried to get rid of a load, I used to give them to mates, take them to school, say, have some Tic Tacs. You can have them for free. We used a load in the cat litter tray.
No. No,
we
you
did.
didn't.
We did. It
No,
was
you
just
didn't.
ways of getting rid of them.
Jesus Christ.
Sort of freshy smell, isn't it? It's the
That's
same
amazing.
sort of condensity in that, isn't it?
Condensity, it is the same condensity.
Condensity.
Yeah, so I got rid of them like that. And then the weird thing was, even though I'd got shut of them all, you'd be backing up and you'd always hear one ting its way up the tube.
It's tinging its way up the tube. It's tinging its way up the tube. It's tinging its way up the tube. Ting tong, ping pong. It's tinging its way up the tube.
That sounds like something from Willy Wonka.
Oh
No,
God.
it's just I'm just demonstrating that because that's how many of them there were around the house. You'd drop them, they'd go in every corner and that, like Pac-Man or something. They'd be everywhere. You'd be backing
amazing.
up, tinging it up.
Sheila's getting married. Hannah gets confetti. Don't buy any confetti. Go to cupboard under stairs.
So yeah, that's a little memory there, isn't it?
It
That
is a
just
little
cropped up.
memory.
Now
It's a really little
The
memory.
strange Tic Tac house in Salford, where everything is made of Tic Tacs.
Wow, that must have been a hell
That's
of
incredible.
a time you had with your parents there. The old Tic Tac
No, but it's
reminiscence.
better. You see, you're saying, oh, what a boring story that is. But when
I
your
see
mum and
you've
dad,
re-gravelled the drive. Yeah, smell it. Suck the drive if you want.
no, but it's different. When my mum and dad are there and they can remember that, and they're going, oh yeah, the Tic Tac incidents and stuff.
What's known as the Tic Tac incident.
Tic Tac
Let us never speak of the Tic Tac incident.
I just imagine the clock ticking. There, it's Christmas Day. I go, what are you smiling at? Oh, remember it used to ting up the tube.
You should think about selling this to Hollywood.
Listen, what do you remember then?
What do
do
you
I remember?
That's
Wow.
an amazing thing to
That's
say.
a difficult question to answer.
Yeah, I don't. Nothing. Nothing at all.
Well, I went for a what's her name, Steve. You don't know. I've had problems with my legs.
Christ almighty.
He's the same. What are you? 33.
He's a
And you talk
hypochondriac.
like you're a 70-year-old.
Honestly, the slightest thing, he's got time off work for this. We went to the dentist 3 times in 1 week. He goes, now his leg's rubbed 2 times a week for
No,
some
I don't.
reason.
I don't.
In and out of the kidney hospital, and they're going, there's no kidney stone, Mr. Pilkington. He's going, oh, right. Christ almighty, do some fucking work.
No, the thing is, I've been in the last 30 odd years. I've been working hard, and I've let my body get run down a bit.
How have you, like, you're 30, what are you?
30. 33.
Right, 33. Sorry to start off with such a hard question. But how have you been working for 30 years?
Well, I just have. I sort of I got on with it.
At 3? At 3?
No, I'm
Well, you
just
didn't
saying.
get on with anything at school, did you? Because you were just pissing about.
Yeah.
You weren't working
Yeah.
out there.
What was the first job you got? How old were you?
I was 15.
Right, okay, so you've been working for 15 years then. Okay, good,
Yeah, but
right.
I had my paper round when I was 10, didn't I? And that was hard graft. That's why I'm bald and that. Getting up at 4:30. It all adds up, doesn't it? All adds up. So anyway, I kicked my height when I was a kid.
He always says this, like it's a classic story that everyone should know.
Everyone
and
knows,
also
right.
the phrase "kicking my own height."
Yeah.
Explain what you mean.
Just kicked my height when I was a
Kick
kid.
your. No one understands.
You
Karl.
kicked your leg up to the
kicked
height
my
that
leg.
you were at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
if you
kicked
were,
my height. It's not a well-known phrase. You can't just go, "I kicked my height."
so you were 4.5 foot, and you've put your toe up into the air 4.5 feet by kicking.
Yeah, but I landed on my back.
Right, okay. Imagine seeing that in the playground. They go, get Karl Pilkington to kick his height. I bet he falls over like a
It
fucking
wasn't in the
penguin.
playground. My dad got me to do it in the garden.
Brilliant.
But why did
They
you fall
sold
over?
tickets, the neighbours were cracking up. Yeah.
Why did you fall over? Did you hit
I just
yourself
didn't,
in the
I didn't
head?
have kicked the height. I mean, my leg got high up, but I was that chuffed that I got that high. I didn't think of putting my leg down again.
What did it look like? What the fuck did that look like?
He's got to think it all through. I thought it was automatic. In like, you
Stayed there.
you sort of stay balanced.
Christ
But you didn't
almighty.
think, well, I'm loving this. This is brilliant, but what should I do now? I got my leg up. I'll just keep it up. Whoa!
He looked like a Hitler salute with his leg. What were you doing?
So anyway, I landed on my back,
Yeah.
and I did some damage, I think. And it's because
Definitely.
of that.
You sure you didn't land on your head?
And it's because of that, like all them years and what have you.
Yeah.
I've had like a trapped nerve in my leg.
Right.
So I thought, right, now's the time to have it done. Because when you get older, I mean, it was the kidney stone thing. Once you've sort of looked at, death and what have you, it just makes you think, got to start looking after
Do you
your
think you
body.
could die of the slightly bad leg that you've had for 15 years?
Well, it
Do you
just,
think that'll eventually kill you?
well, it could do if I can't run away from danger quick enough.
Right. Again, you're thinking of Jurassic Park coming true.
Well, whatever then. I'm just saying, you've got
Yeah.
to look after yourself. If there's anyone listening
could
out
always
there
hop.
who's got a problem, get it sorted.
I'll tell you
That's
what,
all
though,
I'm saying.
if you have to fight off danger and you kick them, put the leg back down immediately after.
So anyway, I went to see this fella, to like a professional leg rubber,
Professional leg rubber.
Yeah.
and he sort of said a few things that were quite interesting. Remember that time when we had a chat on the last lot of like podcasts? I said, "Am I in charge of my brain, or is my brain in charge of me?"
Yeah, do you remember what I said? That's the most stupid thing you've ever said.
Yeah. Well, listen to this then. So I go and see this leg rubber,
Professional leg rubber, yeah.
right? And he is professional.
Yeah.
Right. so
Remember, leg rubber. You haven't said doctor at any
Yeah.
point in this conversation.
leg rubber.
So this whatever, however profound this is, it came from a man who is self-confessed professionally leg rubbing.
not just legs.
Does he do
back,
left and right? Or?
back rubbing as well. He does it all. Right.
Right.
So I'm in
Professional
there,
rubber.
and I didn't mention about how I thought my brain was, was in charge of me and stuff. I'm lying there. He's bending me about and what have you. The first problem he came across is that my nerves aren't long enough for my
Right.
body.
I don't know.
My nerves aren't long enough for your body.
He was lifting my legs up, and I was going, right, whoa, stop that a minute. That's certain that. He's like, what do you mean? He said, I've only got them like just about.
Well, that's your tendons.
No, but your nerves are in your legs as well, and your tendons don't hurt. It's your nerves that kick in. It's your nerves that make you
Well,
go.
yeah,
"That
but they
hurts."
hurt because your tendons are being overstretched.
Well, I'm just telling you what he said. Right, so he lifted the leg up, and I went, right,
Was
stop
this
doing
above a
that.
laundrette, this surgery?
No, it's a proper place. He had like towels and all that on
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's got towels
Oh,
there.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Definitely a laundrette.
so I'm lying there.
Other people's towels.
He's got towels, underpants,
yeah,
bras.
halfway through he said, you haven't got 20p, have you, for the dryer? Okay.
So I'm lying there, and he lifts the leg up,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, that hurts a lot. So he said, oh yeah, short nerves. And I said, what do you mean? He said, your outside of the body is longer than your inside.
Right, he doesn't sound like a doctor. He does not sound like a
The
doctor.
outside of your body's
Yeah.
longer than the inside.
So he had me lying on my front and what have you, and he was sort of crushing me back.
Right.
And he was going, does that hurt? I said, yeah. It was like 48 quid, this as well. Putting me through all this pain and what have you.
Well, you got some good advice, though.
He said, you're pretty stressed. And I said, yeah. So it's, I've quite a bit of stress in my life. And I explained to him about the kidney stones and that. I said, oh, you know, that
He went, oh, shut the fuck up.
He probably said that. He said that's where you were probably got a lot of tenseness. And
A lot of tenseness. Is that the phrase he used as a trained professional rubber?
He's a doctor. He's definitely a doctor.
So anyway, he said, do you relax much?
You haven't got any Lenore, have you? I want these sheets to come out nice and soft.
He said, do you, you know, you should learn to meditate or something. He said, because you're all tensed up. We're living in a stressful world, as I told me about it. So when I was telling him that I have problems relaxing, he said, that you're obviously the sort of person
Who's gullible enough to spend 46 quid for this hokum?
He said, you're the sort of person whose brain is in charge of them, rather than them being in charge of the brain.
So all you did was you met a person as stupid as you?
Yeah.
No, but I thought it's interesting that this is what he does for a living.
Yeah.
And he picked up, that was the first visit, that's the first, I'd only been there about 22 minutes.
Yeah.
You get half an hour for 48 quid.
Right.
But he picked up on that within like 15
No, he saw a right
minutes.
fucking sucker coming. No, he did pick up on that, yeah.
But anyway,
don't go to him again.
The reason, I am doing, I've got locked into it, I've got to go at least another 3 times
Why?
and try
What
to
do
get
you
out
mean?
of it. I don't know, I didn't realise that you have to have a minimum amount of things. So what I'm saying
I can't
is,
wait. What's the wisdom he's going to come up with next week? That'll be brilliant. I will kind of, yeah.
No, but what I'm saying
Your
is,
blood's paranoid.
we were talking...
You've got jealous bones. You're the sort of person whose stomach's hungrier than you. What absolute fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
Do you know, like how we were talking about eyes, weren't we? He said the thing is, you know, you've got to be able to relax, and the way to do it is to focus. Right? He said, so what do you mean? He said, when you go to sleep...
You're the sort of person whose eyes can see further than you can.
He said, when you go to sleep...
Close your eyes and see instead of just leaving them open staring at the ceiling.
Carl, keep breathing.
Yeah, keep breathing. Close your eyes. You're not dead. It may seem like it, but you're not. You're just asleep.
So he said...
Oh, fuck me.
He said, what you've got to do when you go to sleep, focus on your toe. Right?
Okay.
He said, and just think about nothing else. I said...
He's a witch. Did he say to put a toad under the bed?
No, he just said focus on the toe and see how you go on and what have you. Next time you come in, let me know. Anyway, I gave this a go, focusing on the toe.
So what does this mean? You mean you sat in bed staring at your toes?
No, this is it. He said, like, lie down,
Visualising
shut
it.
your eyes and sort of look at it, sort of thing. So I was lying there, and it just wasn't working because
Oh, Carl, this isn't medicine.
I was...
You
even
were
though
thinking
my
of a
eyes...
finger.
Well, no,
He found out he was thinking of someone else's toe. Next day,
doesn't
someone
work.
called up and said, Carl, my toe's better.
no, the problem was I was still using my eyes even though I had them shut.
Oh, God! Just when I think he could never come up with something stupid, he pulls that one out of the bag!
Right. So what does that mean?
Oh, God!
You were still sleeping them in the shower. What does that mean?
I was straining them. I had them shut, but I was sort of looking down at my foot.
You were trying to see through your eyelids at your toe.
Well, I was looking down, so I'm thinking that's where the foot is. Because of that, I was straining them and they were stinging, so I had to pack it in.
I'm gonna die! I am going to die!
Again, we were talking about me being younger, and the youngest I could remember back to was 1978.
How old were you then?
When
were you born?
72.
What,
you
couldn't remember earlier than 6? You can remember back to about 2 or 3, most people. What?
No way. No way. My mum and dad don't even remember them. Because you're not doing anything. This is what I'm saying.
Mum and Dad don't even remember me then. That's amazing.
Because they pinpoint
They remember
things.
all the Tic Tacs they've ever eaten.
Yeah. Do you remember when Karl was 6? Of course I do. 5? Yeah. 4? Yeah. 3? No. 2? No.
Because you're not doing anything, are you?
Me Mum and Dad don't even remember me then.
And it's weird.
I remember must have been about 2 sitting on a potty surrounded by Lego. I remember that. Very strong image I have of that.
No, I don't remember that.
No, you wouldn't remember that, were you? Would
you
know
weren't there, were you? What do you mean? What, you don't remember Steve sitting on a potty surrounded by Lego?
No, I mean, I can't remember having a potty. I remember having one of them.
I'm not suggesting you have the
You
same
used to go
memory.
on a fucking litter tray. Now I know why, to eat a Tic Tac while you're having a shit.
But, okay, so what is your very first memory?
The one that cropped up the other day was having my eyes sort of glued together by.
Gangsters. Where's the fucking Tic Tacs?
No, I
We
was,
lost our truck for you, go.
when I was on holiday and I slept near the window and the window was open, and I used to wake up in the morning with my eyes shut. My mum and dad thought I was having a lovely lie in. I just couldn't open my eyes.
But why? I don't understand. Why were they? What do you mean? Why were they glued? Why were they? What do you mean they were glued?
But why didn't you say, Mum, Dad, I'm not asleep. My eyes are glued together.
It's just that you get a build-up on the eyelashes.
Yeah.
And it all.
But when they came in and you could sense them looking
I didn't know they were there.
So,
Remember that time when you called me and I said I don't know where I am and I couldn't concentrate?
think of that. I called him. I went, God, what are you doing? I don't know where I am.
What do you mean you didn't know where you were? What you?
I got lost. I
What,
went
in London
wandering.
you got
yeah,
lost?
Yeah. I went wandering and then, you know, I
It's
was
when
like,
he first moved into his new place. He was walking back from his old place to his new place, and he didn't know where he was. He
How
tried
can
to
you
take a
ever
short.
really get lost in London? Though I'm just it's a cabbie.
well, yeah, I don't want to do that because you feel bad pulling one over and then saying, where am I?
Yeah, they don't appreciate that, do they?
But I found my way back, didn't I?
Yeah.
But you told me
20
one
minutes.
time that you much prefer getting lost. You love wandering around and getting lost. You
Yeah,
said that's much better.
Going
Yeah,
around
it
the
was a cold
cul-de-sac.
day. It was a cold day. I just wanted to be at home. I had things to do. There's a time and place to be lost.
Well, go on.
Well, a place
What's
you
the
don't
place?
know.
What's
and
the place to be lost?
Somewhere you don't know.
Right, good. Okay,
And the
specific.
time?
The time.
Time when you're not in a rush.
Right.
Oh, chimpanzee, that has only gone and written it down.
The jingle there to announce yet another reading from Karl Pilkington's diary. My mum called me to ask me to look in some of the magazine shops in London for a magazine that she can't find. It's called UFO Data. I said, I ain't heard of it. She said she's seen an advert for it in one of her ghost magazines.
I love the fact that she can't even find the magazine about unidentified flying objects.
Yeah. So we get a clue
She
there.
thinks, I think I saw something, but I don't know whether it was a magazine or not.
So we get a clue there as to why you give any credence to this crap.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, I mean,
Mama Pilkington's into the same shit.
there's a lot of space out there, isn't there?
She said that this magazine has got news story about how Aldrin (brackets astronaut) has got some evidence that aliens exist.
Yeah.
I told her that I found out today that the days are about 36 minutes longer on Mars. We chatted about how this is how they are more advanced than us. Do you mean the Martians?
Yeah, if they've got a longer day, that's more time that they're awake working on stuff.
Right, yeah, we know that makes no difference at all.
No, it does.
Think about it. Think
Yeah.
about it.
Look, think about it. 6 o'clock here.
Yeah.
People are going, see you tomorrow. I'm going home. They'll be going, oh, another half hour. They've got a longer day. Productive.
And that's why they're able to fly.
That's why they're whizzing around. It adds up, doesn't it, over the years?
Christ almighty, what drivel!
Suzanne got in from work at 11:30. I told her about the UFOs in Mars. She said she's too tired to chat. I said, does it mean aliens will be more tired than us, or do they get more sleep? I got no answer. I love it when
It
Suzanne
scares
goes in.
her.
She never indulges
No,
you.
it
does she?
scares her. Anything with ghosts and UFOs, she sort of...
It doesn't
ignores
scare her,
does
it bores
scare
her.
No, it freaks her out. Scares her.
Okay. Read about a pub that is getting some stick because they've stopped a horse going in. It's been the horse's regular for ages, but there's been some new owners who've taken over the pub and they said they're serving fresh food and don't want a horse in there anymore.
Oh, God!
I met Suzanne after she finished work and we went for a brew in another cafe.
Gosh, Jesus.
It's always having a brew in a caf.
It's like a sitcom.
It is. Suzanne said I looked tired and fed up. She taught me some way to breathe that will relax me. I wasn't feeling that relaxed though, because the person behind the counter was banging about making a coffee. Noise stresses me out. I wonder if less deaf people die of stress than people with working ears do.
Oh, it's the theories. It's the
It is
theories.
such a noisy world, though, isn't it?
It is. London is noisy, very noisy.
I think just everywhere, just noise in general. I mean, I haven't got pictures in our flat because of that mirrored wall I've got.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, it's tiny. You've been in it. Got windows on one wall, door to get in on the other, kitchen on the other, mirrored wall on the other. So there's
No
nowhere
space for
there.
art.
There's no space for art.
I'm intrigued how you sit at home. Where's the sofa?
At home,
Yeah.
facing the mirror.
So you sit looking at yourself all night,
Yeah.
as opposed to a painting.
Yeah, but at least that changes each day.
No, it doesn't.
It does. The picture
No,
changes.
it's not. It's round and miserable every fucking day.
No, honestly, it's good to, because you don't look at yourself otherwise. Especially me, I haven't got any hair to comb or anything, so I don't look in the mirror as much as the normal person. So, whereas now, I'm looking there every day.
So you're sat at home staring at yourself?
No, because the telly's in front of the mirror.
But are you not distracted by yourself?
Yeah, you do. When the adverts are on, you look up, and if Suzanne's sat next to me, I tend to talk to her through the mirror.
What do you mean? So why don't you look at her when you talk to her?
Well, you don't have to turn your neck or anything. There's no neck usage going on. I can just look forward. I look at the telly, lift the eyes up, look in the mirror, look at me, look at her.
What does she do?
No,
Look back at you
we're
in the
used
mirror.
to it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like there's more people in the room in a way. It's like,
And they're further away.
there's nothing odd about that. Why wouldn't you use? It doesn't matter. Your
Sorry,
eyes, remember, your
why
eyes
wouldn't
are
you
still...
talk to your girlfriend via a mirror all the time? Is that your question?
Well, no, I think it's quite normal. If your head is facing a mirror where you can see everything in that room, remember, it's a small flat, I can see everything that's going on in there without moving my head. Stephen Hawking would be well happy. So I can look forward, she's sat next to me. If I'm watching the telly, I can say something. Now, she's getting the sound from me still because she's sat close.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're further away, but things look better from a distance anyway.
So that's how you managed to keep this relationship alive?
Maybe.
You're such an odd little man.
But no, it's not odd. You see, there was a woman on the estate who did use... have I told you about Miss Peggy before?
No.
It rings a bell. Go on.
I think I told you ages ago, it's this fat woman who used to be on the estate. She had a three-wheeler bike. And her
Push
husband...
bike, pedal bike?
Yeah, like a tricycle thing, but a big one.
Right.
She used to sit her husband in the basket in the back. Cycle about, what have you.
Yeah.
She was known as Miss Piggy. Anyway.
Oh, is this the one that she used to beat him up so your dad pretended to be a policeman?
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, well, the way she used to communicate, she used to always go in quick save and nick biscuits. And if anyone went up to her to say, stop nicking the biscuits, she'd pull out like a little mirror out of a bag, and she'd look in it, but talk to you via the mirror.
Oh, man!
What?
This
So she
place
was
you
insane?
got- It's weird, isn't it? It's
It was really weird.
Like
It used to scare me.
It's like a Salvador Dali painting. you exist in there.
Yeah. It's really, really
So
weird.
hang on. So she used to talk to people through the mirror because she was mental.
I couldn't sit, watch the telly, and look at me watching the telly in the mirror all night.
No,
That's
no,
weird.
that would
Why?
be really weird.
It's really weird, Carl.
I'd be very conscious of myself.
No, yeah,
conscious
I
of the
think
way
it
I'm
gives you,
sat.
it gives you confidence and that. And if you are
Gives you
sort of...
confidence.
Well, yeah, because you're seeing yourself more and you pick up what habits you do and stuff like that.
So what have you changed through your viewing of yourself?
I sort of grew a beard the other week, just something different to look at for a bit. And then you get sick of that. It's like a piece of art. Change that, have a bit of a shave.
Can you see the back of the telly in the mirror?
A little bit, yeah. If the flat's a mess, it's a mess twice.
Oh, God! Oh. What do you think of people who are so angry at art they try and censor it or they try and destroy it? Do you think art should ever be censored?
It's where you put it. If it's in a gallery, then it doesn't have to be censored. If it's in Trafalgar Square, where everyone's wandering around having a nice time, you don't want a 12-foot cock. So it's all about where you put it. I think some art looks better because of where it is. If you want to do a serious point, don't use animals.
No? Well, I disagree with that because I think my favourite is probably Charles Dickens, and I think the greatest story ever told is A Christmas Carol, and there's only one way that could ever be improved, and that is a Muppet Christmas
That's
Carol.
absolutely right. Yeah.
So, and I think that you could, and I think people could take a lesson from that and maybe do other films with the Muppets. A Muppet Schindler's List.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make it so moving. couldn't you?
Schindler's List in space.
Miss Piggy's Choice. Well, we talked about that.
What?
About things like that in art as well. Do you think that bringing something so serious to the masses, like films do, things like the Holocaust and like Sophie's Choice, where she has to choose which child lives and dies.
Why did she have to pick?
Well, because the Nazis were horrible, nasty, evil people.
And which one did she pick?
I don't think that's the point. I don't think that's the point.
I love the idea that
this is not a betting game.
No, but I imagine this is like Deal No Deal. It's kind of, you're down to the last two. Which one are you going to go for?
God. But why did you ask which one did she choose? Because even if he'd said the names, Robert and Alison, what difference would it make? You don't know the story. Why is
No,
it
because
that
then I'd ask more. I'd ask more then. If you said Alison, I'd go, well, what was it with Alison? What did she have over Robert? That's what films are meant to do. You question it. Whenever I watch a film with Suzanne, I always say at the end, what was going on there?
Oh,
That's because you're an idiot.
Christ.
That's because you've just watched Muppet Christmas Carol and you can't understand why a frog's able to talk.
I'm all for films with a good storyline.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's a perfect point. One extraordinary point.
Guys, he's gonna follow this up, mate. He's gonna follow
He's got
this up.
something there. He's got something here.
Carl, go on then. What's your take on films?
Films are really good. You can get lost in them.
Right.
And
You like one with a good story?
I mean, whenever anyone asks, it's always the same. It's Elephant Man. It's Kez. Mission Impossible 2.
Mission Impossible 2. These are what you consider great works
No, I'm
of
just
film
saying
art.
these are ones that I've enjoyed recently. There's so many films that I haven't seen, yet you always say, "Oh, have you seen so and so?" You
What,
love
Mission
it.
Impossible 1?
And there's good news for you. 3's out.
That's true. Which is another important value of art, of course. People's self-expression, people being able to give a little piece of themselves through their work. Do you not see any value in that? How do you express yourself?
Whistle.
You whistle.
Yeah, I found over Christmas I whistled a lot more than I usually do. And I think that was just freedom.
What do you mean freedom?
It's like freedom.
Expand on this point, if you would.
Well, that's what art is, isn't it? It's you being free of all the world's heaviness on your shoulders.
See, that's a great quote, that. That's great, that. For art is freedom. I love that, because I think you've really hit on something there.
Would you include the free of all the world's heaviness?
Well, I know what you meant. I know what you meant there.
Would you include that one in it?
I mean, I would include the world's heaviness in my freedom. You know, some artists are attracted to the dark side, the heaviness of the world.
But I just want to return to you whistling as your artistic expression of freedom. I mean, why did you find yourself whistling more?
That's what was weird.
So just take us through a typical day. When would the whistling begin?
So this was that you spent Christmas down in Kent with Suzanne and her parents.
Yeah.
Could I suggest something? Your freedom was thinking, I'm in my own place now. I'm going to annoy them.
Well, it was mainly it's when we were playing Scrabble, and they were taking ages to have their go, and couldn't have the radio on because the boiler affects the radio.
You've got boiler problems down in Kent as well.
It works. It just gives something off every time it kicks in. The radio goes all staticky.
Right.
So I just was sort of supplying the soundtrack.
And what kind of things would you be whistling?
It was like I just sort of did a whistle medley. It was going from one thing to another.
A Wedley.
And a man was impressed. She was like, "Oh, you can whistle, can't you?" I was going, "Yeah." And then she was saying, "How loud can you go?" I was just doing all different levels.
Sorry, this sounds like a scene from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The boiler's setting off the radio. I can whistle. Oh, you're good whistling, aren't you? Oh, yeah, Scrabble. Talk about outsider art.
I love the fact that Karl's life is like living in a home when you're in your 80s.
Yeah.
But you felt that this was your way of expressing yourself.
I just found it odd because I don't whistle that much. I think just because I think I'm fed up most of the time when I'm in London. And you don't whistle when you're fed up here. Whistling's a happy thing. You never get an angry man suddenly breaking into a
Well,
whistle.
the people who aren't whistling are usually pissed off. But yeah, the bloke who's whistling, it's like, it's the least, he's the least annoyed person in the room when someone's whistling. Same as holding a drill. The only person that noise doesn't annoy is the bloke who's drilling. Everyone else wants to bunch his face in. Same with whistling. Whistling, there's no point in whistling.
No, there is.
No, there's not.
Don't know. I mean, our window cleaner was known as, like, you know, that's how you knew he was there. He always whistled. And in the end, he fell off his ladder, broke his front teeth.
Oh.
Retired.
What, because he couldn't whistle?
That was it. It was like...
Well, yeah, he whistled all the time.
Can't whistle, can't clean windows. It's a bit tragic.
Could he take along a whistle? Just pop that in his mouth.
Yeah, I suppose he could have done. I didn't think of that.
What about a flute? Or a recorder? Not London's burning again. Fucking clean the windows and then fuck off.
He didn't really think this through, did he? He retired at the age of 28. And his whole family were bankrupt.
With no teeth.
Yeah.
And just a bucket and a squeegee.
Why aren't you working, Dad? Because I can't whistle.
I can't whistle anymore. And if the day you give up whistling is the day I give up window cleaning.
So you never whistle?
No.
I can't really whistle very well. No.
I don't whistle, but I can whistle better than that.
What, you did this for hours on end while playing Scrabble?
About 2 hours.
2 hours?
Put my word down.
And this, sorry, can we just hear that again? Just hear it. Can we hear it?
So you were whistling after you had your go as well?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hell, Karl.
But hang on, let's just hear a bit. That is Karl's self-expression. That is his artistic self-expression right there.
A name. No tune, no nothing.
There's mental patients who have smeared canvases with shit who have expressed more than you have in that.
Yeah, but it's not about other people. I'm not there to please other people.
Right. You're there to annoy them.
What was the best word you came up with in Scrabble?
Don't knock me at Scrabble, because I do all right. What's weird is, when I play Scrabble, my brain can come up with words that I don't normally say.
OK, this isn't... No, I'm intrigued here. Your brain can come up with words you wouldn't normally say.
Just words that I'd never drop into a sentence.
Tree, cat.
Go on.
Squirm. That's using a Q. It's worth 10, that. It's not bad, is it? No, I'd never say that.
I've never heard you... I don't think I've ever heard you say squirm, no. I don't think you're right, Karl. I've never heard you say squirm.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is weird.
And yet your brain popped that one out?
And then, yeah, when it wasn't my go, just... Anyway, so that's sort of doing art for yourself as opposed for other people.
I don't think you can count what you just did then as art. Hobby maybe, craft, pastime. I don't think you can count that as art. I'm not being funny. I'm being a bit snobby here. But I think there's a difference between Beethoven and... Squirm. There's a Q in that. Robert Nozick did this thing that if you could go into a flotation tank and you led a whole virtual life and it was the best life possible, you did exactly what you've always wanted. You became the person you wanted to be, you did the best things you could ever dream of doing, and you literally couldn't tell the difference. So it was your life, okay? And you lived your biological life out in that tank and died at 80 and had the best life any person could ever have. You could pre-program it. Would you get into that tank knowing what you know now, knowing that you would have the best life ever, with no heartache, no upset, no loved ones dying?
So what's happening when I'm sort of having a packet of munchies?
Yeah.
Am I having them, or are they imaginary?
They're imaginary, but you can't tell the difference. It's the best packet of munchies we've ever had. I love the fact that you went into the flotation tank, and your one proviso was, are munchies as good?
Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
I'm just taking it back to basics.
That is
Right.
basic.
You've got to pre-program your life. That's where you'd start, is it? Munchies must always taste magnificent.
Well, it's just if you can still enjoy the basic things in life, then that's when you can't go wrong.
You do. You enjoy them. It's the life you'd ever want to live, and you're living it.
Bit
Sorry,
dangerous.
Bit dangerous.
Why? Go on. Why?
Just I don't know, because sometimes I think things don't happen for the best, right?
Right.
Sometimes you can sort of think, oh, I'll enjoy that if that happens, and then it doesn't happen, and you've had time to think about.
But this is perfect. No, this is built in, because whatever happens is for the best. So not only when you're in this flotation tank are you enjoying yourself, that things just keep getting better or staying as good.
You never have a bad day.
You never have a bad day.
But how long would that last for before you go, I'm fed up with this?
Well, why would you get fed up with it? Because you do something else. It's the perfect life.
Bear in mind, you're not aware that you're in the flotation tank. You've made that deal, but then once you're in there, you're not aware of being in the flotation tank. You're living your life and it's perfect. You're happy. Well, we don't know how you would be happy. You just have munchies every day and...
Well, yeah, you'd get in it then. You'd get in it. If you don't know you've got in this tank... If I somehow go to bed at night, someone injects me in the head, and then they go, right, stick him in the tank now, and then I wake up, packet of munchies there, sun's out, Suzanne goes, oh, it's a nice day, we'll go and do something nice. And I go, you're meant to be at work. She goes, no, I don't have to go in today.
Right.
Go, all right, let's go out then.
Now, what's interesting there is that within this scenario, I gave you any life, you could do anything, and you chose the exact life you've got now, except Suzanne's got a day off. Now, I both love that.
Well, I was a
and
bit
sort of-
suspicious, though, that she's just taking a day off.
No way,
willy-nilly.
it's not happening now. It's not happening, really happening. You can do anything you like. But I like the fact now you're even questioning it. You're not in the tank, and why has Suzanne got a day off, right? Now, I love that, because that suggests to me that you're a nice, happy, satisfied, whatever you want to do it, contented person who's got the perfect life. However, it's almost like you haven't fully understood the possibilities. For example... You wake up, there's the munchies, sunny day, Suzanne's not at work, you go, why aren't you at work?
No,
She goes to you, hold on though, why are you flying? And you go, I just can. But you hadn't even thought that maybe you could fly or swim or hold your breath.
You just gonna have some munchies for breakfast.
Hang on a minute, this is day one.
Oh, okay.
When you go on holiday,
Yeah.
like I said before, you don't turn up and go, right, it's 1 o'clock, jet ski for half an hour, bungee jumping 40 minutes after that, let's
Yeah.
have a nice roti,
Yeah.
and, you know, try a little cocktail.
And what do you do? What do you do when you arrive there?
Well, you get there,
Yeah.
the fella takes your case to the room,
Right.
you have that panic of, am I going to give him too much money? I don't know the currency well enough yet, I don't know how much
More
things
information
are.
than we asked for.
No.
And the most mundane scenario I've ever heard.
No, but this is what happens in real life.
Okay, you're just telling us what happens when you go on holiday. What's your point?
Okay.
Because you don't want fun all in one go. You want to build to it because that's sometimes part of it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So-
anticipation. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Yeah. That little bit.
Yeah.
It's about things taking time, innit? And looking back at the journey and going,
Yeah.
how did I get here?
Okay, well,
Right.
can I ask a question? Because, sorry, what I'm fascinated to know is, if you decided to sign up to the float tank idea, okay, you can design your perfect life.
But I prefer not to
Well,
know I'm doing it.
No,
You
you don't.
won't
You
know.
won't. But I
You
want to
won't
ask
know.
this question. Imagine Ricky and I are the doctors, okay? We can put you in this tank. All we need to know from you now is what your perfect life is. We're going to program it in the computer. You're going to wake up tomorrow. You won't know this conversation's happened. You'll have the perfect life. What, if you don't mind, we're going to take notes now. What is the perfect life? You're still obviously living with Suzanne.
We've got
but
munchies.
What else?
We've got munchies and we've got sunshine.
But what else would you like in your magical life of your ultimate life?
Yeah, I don't like this idea. Suddenly Suzanne's never at work. I just think you need a bit of the badness to have the goodness.
Right.
right.
But the difference is when I next get British Gas round, they go, "Oh, Mr. Pilkington, yes,
Oh my God!
The boiler
so
is
he's like
fixed."
to have a virtual life, so his boiler's fixed.
No,
Yeah, but so your boiler
no.
still goes wrong in your dream, but, it gets fixed.
But you don't
Yes.
even need a boiler. You could be the perfect
But
temperature
this
all the
isn't
time.
the Earth anymore. I don't like the idea of too much change. I don't want that much of a change.
But
to
you
my life.
won't realise it won't feel like change.
Yeah, but it's that old chestnut, isn't it? It's the thing of like, what's my problem then? You've got
Right.
the problem gene in your head. You've got to fill it with a problem.
Yeah, he's not a geneticist.
Got the problem hole in your head.
No, it's
Got
not.
the problem hole in your head. Shut up, Ricky. Let him say what he means to say. He's got a
said
problem
it.
hole in his head.
He's got a problem hole in his head. It's called his mouth.
Yes.
Right, that is your problem hole.
So, if someone comes up and they go, "I fixed your boiler,"
Sorry, can I just ask
No, let him speak
Let
for-
me ask one question, Steve. Is the problem hole different from the problem gene, or is that a new term for...
No, you put things through the problem hole and they end up in the problem gene. You feed something in the problem hole.
Is that right, Karl?
It goes through the problem tube into the problem gene.
Okay, so it's down the problem conduit. Okay, go on. Right. So it's better to have... You've got a problem hole in your head. Right.
So you stuff in a problem into the problem hole. In
Okay,
it
yeah,
goes.
okay.
now all the little problems can't get in because of the big problem.
Right.
Right.
Is that good or bad? It's a
But
good
that's
thing to
not true,
have
is
The
it?
problem hole is a standard size on everyone.
Right.
Right, no, but that's
Shut
not...
up, Ricky. Let him explain.
Now, Ricky, I'd say his problems are not even problems.
Well, how big's his problem hole?
Same size as mine.
Same size as
okay.
yours.
But his problems are all little ones. They're like, you've got like a load of Skittles, I've got a big cream egg.
Right, but why...
Shut up! Let him speak. He's just expanding on his idea. Why do you
what is
keep
his
interrupting?
problem? What is your problem that's so big compared to my little Skittles?
Loads of problems. You get stressed out about things that I'm like, what's up with you? You get annoyed easily with stuff. People chewing loudly, or someone breathing loudly, or someone coughing. Whereas I'm like, oh, that doesn't matter. Like you say, to you, the boiler is like, get it ripped out, put a new one in. It's not as easy as that.
It is.
And that's why the problem ball is growing.
He's got a gene, a ball and a hole.
So the problem ball...
No wonder there's no fucking room for a brain.
Right, shut up. Let me ask... I want to clarify this. The problem ball exists in life. That gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It has to go through the problem hole, down the problem tube, into the problem
bounce
gene.
into the problem gene.
Right, now then. So you've got the problem ball. Everyone's problem hole is the same size.
Okay.
But some people's problems are smaller, so they can slip straight into the problem hole.
I've got a question, Stephen.
Wait.
And listen, has anyone got a pair of problem balls? Or is it always just...
Can ladies have a pair of problem balls?
No, because Hitler had one problem ball, didn't he? But could anyone ever have a pair of problem balls, is my question to you.
And some people's problem balls are much bigger than another man's. Or another woman's, right?
Yeah,
Right.
depending on the problem.
So you could have a pair of problem balls and one problem hole.
The way I'm saying
Supposing I came to you and said, listen...
but a man starving in a foreign country might have huge problem balls.
He might have, but if I went to a doctor and said I've got a problem hole, and the doctor said, "Well, let me see it," and he said, well, "Let me see your problem hole," and hanging down in front of my problem hole was a huge pair of problem balls. What would he treat first? Is my question.
Well, would he look into the problem hole?
He said, he'd say, right, take your problem genes off. Right, I want to see your problem hole clearly.
But he would put his hand or his finger into the problem hole to try and remove the problem ball, wouldn't he?
He could feel the problem balls, but he'd have to insert his finger into the problem hole, wouldn't he?
Right.
Okay, so Karl, go on then.
I'll just get in a tank.
What do you do towards enjoying your life?
I don't normally enjoy the thing when I'm doing it. It's after. It's like that holiday. When I was on holiday.
What do you mean you don't enjoy the thing when you're doing it? It's after. What's an example of not enjoying the thing at the moment, but you do after?
You didn't enjoy the holiday?
Say like the holiday. I've just
So
been
you enjoyed
away.
coming off holiday? What?
No, I want to hear it. You enjoyed the holiday. You didn't enjoy the
When
holiday.
I'm there, I had fleas biting me.
Yeah.
I had mosquitoes biting me.
Yeah.
There was a funny smell of damp in the bathroom. I was worrying, getting in the sea, thinking, is there stonefish in it? Right? Now, you've got all that going on.
Yeah.
When you get back, you forget about the damp smell. You forget about the fleas because the bites have gone. They're not as much of a problem.
Yeah.
So then your brain starts going, well, hang on, what did I enjoy? And you go, I enjoyed the dorada fish I had that I've never eaten.
Yeah.
That's an experience. At the time, I wasn't enjoying it because I'm thinking, when I get back, I'm going to have fleas on me again.
Yeah.
Now, when I get a menu given to me in a restaurant,
Yeah.
I go, right, what am I going to do here?
Yeah.
Right, well, when I came here, I thought I'd have some lamb chops. They've got lamb chops, great. Wonder how much to give you, because I quite fancy this pudding they've got.
Right.
Now, I have the lamb chops, it comes with extra veg. I eat it, I enjoy it. The pudding I wanted, it's gone out the window, I've got no room for it now.
Yeah.
But you enjoyed the lamb chops.
You enjoyed the lamb chops. You can only get packed so much. If you're enjoying all your life all the time, there's no point in regretting anything.
That's just greed.
No, but I was looking forward to the pudding.
Well, you shouldn't have eaten all the veg.
Yeah, but I was enjoying it at that point.
But then you take the pleasure that you had at that point.
No, because I wanted a pudding.
Yeah, but
But you didn't want a pudding, or you've had a pudding.
No, because I would have had it for the sake of having it. And then it's
Yeah,
ruined
but I don't know what the whinge is there. You had a lovely meal. You had some lovely lamb chops. You enjoyed the hour.
Because when I read that they had like profiteroles on there,
Yeah.
I thought I fancy a couple of them.
Yeah,
And the chance has gone. I'm probably not coming back to this restaurant now.
Yeah, but you haven't missed a chance. You had the chance. You didn't want to take it because you were full up with lovely lamb.
It's
What's
not
the
like you
problem?
didn't.
I had a spicy sausage in the garden.
Right.
Now, the problem was, I was enjoying it, but I thought this is the spiciest sausage I've ever eaten.
Right.
Now, I could only enjoy that the next day night when I knew that it's gone through my body, there hasn't been a problem. So that was a nice sausage, I'd have one of them again.
Right. That was a nice sausage! But then the next time, surely you'd be enjoying it, because you wouldn't have the trauma of the next night, because you'd lived through it, and now you're just enjoying the lovely spiciness and the sausaginess of the spicy sausage.
Yeah, but the problem is, once you've enjoyed something, it's very difficult to replace what you got from that spicy sausage the first time.
Then why are you looking forward to having another one?
Because let me tell you,
Go on.
Auntie Nora, I've told you she prepares all her food, right? She's got them all in bags in a freezer, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Right.
Now, what she normally does, she makes a big pot of curry.
Right.
She goes, what I'll do, I'll pop that in the Monday bag and I'll pop it in the Thursday bag. It's the same curry. Now, she has it on the Monday.
Yeah.
She loves it. She thinks I got the mix just right there. The spices are good. The chicken was tasty.
I'm looking forward to Thursday.
I'm looking forward to Thursday. I can't wait for Thursday.
Yeah.
I'll call her up on the Thursday evening. I'll go, how was the curry that you had on Monday that you said you were having again on Thursday that you enjoyed? Didn't enjoy it. Why is that? Dunno. Just want the same. She was expecting too much. And that's the problem. If I had that spicy sausage again, it's never going to live up to it. So forget the spicy sausage. I've had it. I've experienced it.
So you
if
never
someone
have another
says, well, it depends.
So do you have anything twice, ever?
Maybe not.
But this is insane, Carl, because aside from you and your Auntie Norma and presumably all the other Pilkington clan, or are all as weird as one another, why you phone her up and ask her what she's having for tea? I don't know.
Yeah, that's one thing.
What, and
That shows
not
you
only
that-
what is happening on Monday, but what you're going to do on Thursday as well. I'll make a note of it in the Auntie Norma food diary.
That's proof that you really aren't enjoying your life now.
Exactly.
To go, right, oh, fucking
Well,
hell.
what else do you say
But
to
then
other
he's
people?
phoning her up again late on the Friday to find out how the Thursday curry went down.
I know, exactly. Yeah.
That's two calls that week.
Unbelievable.
Well, it's just
Just
good to-
read her journal.
No, the question is it better to enjoy something once and not again than not at all?
But you're an
What do you
idiot
mean?
because
No,
you're the
that's
only
not
person who
choice.
experiences this.
That's not the choice. That's not the choice for normal people. You can either never enjoy summer or only enjoy it once. You can enjoy things loads of times.
you can't.
That's what a hobby is. A hobby is enjoying things over and over again.
I haven't got a hobby ever. That's why. I've had loads of hobbies in the past. I did the dancing, I did the boxing, I did, what else have I done?
That is it. I think that's what.
But that's what I'm saying now, I soon get bored. And it's like how you enjoy, I love munchies,
Yeah.
but I always enjoy the last one more than...
Well, that doesn't make sense. That goes totally counter to your argument.
No, because it's from one packet.
What?
It's from one packet.
What difference does that make? The first one's surely your favourite.
So
it's
hold on.
not.
So if you were to have one munchie, right, I'll go as a munchie, mate. You
No.
go, I'm not going to take one unless I can have all of them, particularly the last one.
But what
Well,
is...
no, I'd like to have them all, please.
What? No, you can't have them all. Don't be so greedy. Have one munchie. Have the first munchie. There
But
you
I'm
go.
going to have one, and I'm going to get a taste for them, and I'll probably want another.
Well, no, they're my munchies, aren't they?
I'll
Do you
keep them then, forget it.
Well, look, so you'd rather have no munchies than one munchie?
I'll go and buy a packet. I'd prefer to go, do you know what? I fancy a packet of them.
But why do you enjoy the
Okay,
why
wait.
do you enjoy the last munchie more than the first? Whereas
you know
you
that's the
enjoy the
last
first
one.
curry, but not the
But
second
you know it's
curry.
the last one.
Because I'm eating them all in one sitting. I'm not going, that's for Monday, that's for Tuesday, that's for Wednesday. I'm
Right.
talking about a packet of munchies.
Right.
I eat them. There's probably about 12 in a packet.
Okay.
I shove the first 4 in without even thinking what I'm eating.
You shoved the first 4 in!
Without even
Right.
thinking about what I'm
Right.
eating.
Now, then when you're getting towards the end, you make them last more, you might bite the top of them. You look what's inside them, you go, I'm liking this.
But
You know
hold
that
on,
last
what,
one?
every time?
What, every time you buy a packet of munchies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hold on, though. You must enjoy a packet of munchies regularly, then?
Not as often as you think. You have
Well,
an
I don't
offer
know.
of them.
Well,
No
it's not
opinion.
as I think. I don't know. So tell me how often you enjoy a packet of munchies.
Normally after sort of maybe once a month.
So, every month, you look forward to a lovely packet of munchies. And the same experience.
Yeah,
You
but
like
at
the
the
first
end,
one.
I like the last one.
The only thing you know you enjoy, look forward to enjoy, and it fulfills all those expectations is a fucking packet of munchies once a month. Fuck me. What do you think happiness is?
Again, you only know the happiness because of the badness. You've got
Well-
to have a yin and a yang.
Well, I know what you mean there. I agree with you on this because it's sort of no good to be handed it on a plate. I mean, just from my own experience, working for someone does feel better because you've got a pride and a satisfaction. I genuinely think it's better to start a business, struggle, go bust, come back, than win the lottery.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that.
But you need the mixture, don't you? So you find out what your favourite thing is. It's like a bag of Revels.
Yeah, but you can't cherish guilt or shame.
Did you just say life is like a bag of Revels? Isn't that dangerously close to life's like a box of chocolates?
In Forrest Gump over there, yeah.
No,
Jesus,
but it is, isn't it? There's one or two in there that I don't like.
like what?
The raisin. The raisin
No.
with chocolate.
Yeah, no.
Now what I'm saying
metaphorically,
is,
what's the like,
Yeah, well, I'm
actually
using-
named what Revel he doesn't like?
yeah, well, I'm telling you because it works in life.
Go on then.
But the Revel
You don't like
is
raisins?
there.
Go on.
Well, maybe if you have
What?
enough raisin ones,
Yeah.
you eventually go, do you know what? They're not that bad.
What?
And that's the thing in life.
What would you have written to Jim will fix it to fix for you? What would have given you pleasure as a kid? Dear Jim, can you fix it for me to do what?
watched Jim Will Fix It as a kid, they never really lived up to what the kid wanted, did they?
But what would you have requested?
But I don't think I would, because I think I saw how disappointed most of the kids were.
God, it's
A kid
exhausting.
like whistling, they brought out
This is
Roger Whittaker.
exhausting.
Yes, because they look at it and they go, can you fix it for me to go into space? No. Can I dance with Bananarama? No problem. That's the ones they pick.
Yeah, so
Do you know
that's
what I
why I
mean?
wouldn't write in, because whatever you ask for, you're always going to get a watered-down version.
But if Jim could fix it for you to do anything, what would you have chosen?
There's not many things I wanted as a kid.
One
really.
thing.
Jesus
Just
Christ.
one thing. To choose one thing, please.
Like my name was Brett.
Oh, fucking hell! It's not unbelievable!
I mean, it's extraordinary.
There is no predicting that.
Okay, you know what? I can make that dream come true for you right now, Brett.
We can just call you Brett from now on.
Not a problem, Brett.
Brett Pilkington.
It sounds good.
I love the fact that it's the Karl bit he wants to replace, not the fucking
No, but
Pilkington.
that doesn't work either, because like then
Why
I
not,
told,
Brett?
because I told me mum and dad that that's what I wanted. They started calling me that, but then I forgot that.
They went along with it.
Yeah,
So you said, Mum, Dad, call me Brett from now on. And they went, all right.
yeah, but then I kept forgetting that I was Brett, so I wasn't answering, so they went back to Karl.
It's amazing!
So you've had that dream come true.
Yeah, and it wasn't that good, and that's what I'm saying to you. Things never live up to what you want. Dreams, what are they? When I was on holiday recently,
Yeah.
I got talking to an old fella, because where I went, it's mainly for old people. I got chatting with him. You could tell he had a lot of money.
Yeah.
He sort of tanned. He had that sort of rouge-coloured sort of jeans,
Oh, yeah.
which is always sort of...
Telltale sign.
It's kind of like he's got money.
Yeah.
And,
The red jeans are twice as much, sir. That's okay, I've got money.
yeah, it's sort of... It's either that colour or yellow. But you
Yeah.
can carry it off when you're an old man, and especially with the tan. You think, yeah, he's got a few...
Oh,
quid.
I'm a millionaire. Do you have any yellow jeans? We've got one pair, sir. But
But
no
they're not
one...
the most expensive.
Yeah,
Oxford
they're in
jeans.
the back room. Could I just see your bank account first? There it is. Oh, yeah, you can afford yellow jeans, all right, sir. Come this way.
So I got talking to him, and it turns out he had a cruise ship.
Right.
Loads of money. Now, I was chatting to him for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What colour was his jacket?
Said he didn't have a jacket on, just a white shirt.
He's wearing red jeans and a white shirt.
Yeah, sort of leather slip-on shoes, what I can remember.
And how old is he?
It's hard to tell because he was well tanned.
Right.
Was he an attractive man?
He's a good-looking fella.
So he's rich. So you saw this rich, good-looking bloke with just a shirt on.
Oh, he had a shirt and his pink
Yeah.
His
pants.
pick pants, and he just went over and struck up a conversation.
I don't know. Why did you notice what colour the crotch area was?
What?
Why did you notice what
You were
colour
looking
the...
very much at the arse of
I
the
can
crotch
see why
area.
you could see if you're looking at his face, you could see a white shirt.
I'll
But
tell
why
you
could
why,
you see
I'll tell you
what
why.
colour
This is what I'm
the
telling you.
fabric around his
This is what
testicles
I'm
were?
saying.
You saw a good-looking old man sat at the bar. You went out and bought him a drink.
Yeah, you
I
saw,
was
you
waiting
noticed
for the
that-
barbecue to open.
Right, okay, and
I
you
got
noticed a
there
man's...
early.
So you noticed
So
a
it was
man's
9 in the morning.
trousers.
No.
Yeah, no.
I was annoyed. I
Right.
don't like late nights on holiday.
Right,
With
okay.
jet lag. Suzanne said, let's go down there early tonight.
Right.
I get there, I find out the barbecue's not for another 40-odd minutes.
What time was
The
it?
holiday rep. Well, I don't know. It starts at 8.
You're
so I had to
noticing
wait for
people.
40
You're
minutes.
noticing old men's genital coverings, but you don't know what fucking time it is.
Yeah, but what
get
I'm
your story
saying, What I'm
straight.
saying to you is the
Right.
reason I noticed his pants is because what he was talking about,
Right.
there was no reference points. I didn't have a clue what he was going on about.
Right. What was he talking about for your eyes to wander down to his penis? Is what I'm trying to say. What made you look at his penis?
Because I got bored. I didn't know. What I'm trying to say to you is reference points. I had no idea
what
what
was
he
he
was going on
talking
about.
about?
When you're talking to a stranger, aren't you meant to keep it
Above the waist, looking at his bollocks,
keep it to
erect. I made Karl laugh.